What's that? What is that? What's
Dude,
that device?
dude.
Ito na yung presentation ko.
Okay.
Oh, there's still such a thing?
USB drive.
Thank you.
Lagot na yung computer mo. Lutuan dyan yun eh.
How do you use this? What's a finder?
It's so unnice.
Oh no, it's PowerPoint.
Pwede. Kimson bought PowerPoint.
Now,
Original.
No, he did not.
my desktop is so cluttered.
Yes, you're so Windows.
Yeah. Old habits.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
It's 4 hands.
Okay, so my name is Nico Bautista. I'm a web developer. So here are my basically here's my thoughts on the Post-DevCup. Okay, next. Okay, so yeah, so Nico Bautista. My team name was Team App Nimbus. It was about App Nimbus is an app I developed for another contest before, and we're still actively developing it, but right now not so much. And then the name of the app I submitted for the Post-DevCup is named Bukas Palad, or in English it's Open Palms. Basically, Bukas Palad is a donation and resources management system for relief and donation centers in the Philippines. So, in relation to the Sagip app, it's we also since we the Post-DevCup was, I think, a week after we just recently had a very strong typhoon in the Philippines, and a lot of these donation centers are popping up everywhere. So different offices are offering their services to accept donations and disseminate them to different evacuation centers, etc., etc. So I developed this app basically to help these donation centers manage both the donations and the resources that they use to deliver these donations to the proper relief center. Okay, so here's my right here is my six-step execution plan when I was in Post-DevCup. So step 1 was I thought about my idea. So my idea for Bukas Palad was I got my idea from the stories of my friends and family. They were telling, because like I just said, we had recently had a typhoon the week before the DevCup, and a lot of my family and friends, they volunteered in these donation and relief centers. So they
Began for that.
Thank you. Well, it wasn't me. I didn't really volunteer myself because well, I was busy with work. So no, because all of them.
We're clapping for them.
Okay, clap for them and give them a round of applause. So yeah, because since they didn't have any school was canceled for like a week. So so all of them, they just decided to to volunteer in these donation centers. And they told me these stories about how inefficient the system is for accepting donations, and then once your donation comes into this goes into the donation center, you don't really know what happens to it. You know, you basically just know that you're just hoping that it gets repackaged and gets sent out. Okay, so so that's where my idea came from, basically. So step 2 was to develop. Once I had my idea, I wanted to develop a brand. So I thought about a good name to use for a good logo or a good name to use for my app, and I went through a lot of names, and I decided that I wanted to use Bukas Palad because it symbolized, you know, generosity and giving. And then once I had the name, I developed a logo. So since I'm not really a designer or a graphic designer or a web designer, I just went to Graphic River, which is an online website to sell design elements, logos, search bar, stuff like that. And excuse me. And I bought basically I just bought this part of the logo, this hand, and I just multiplied it 4 times. So the template for the whole, actually the template I bought, they had a lot of other hands like thumbs up and different stuff, but I just really needed the single hand, and that template just cost me $4. So instead of wasting a lot of time designing the logo, I just settled on paying a small amount so I can get a lot of time in return. Okay, next. So, step 3 is to develop your minimum viable product, which is you condense all of the features you want into a small list of features that you can implement. So what I did there was I wrote down all the features that I wanted, whether or not they were doable or not, or whether or not they were feasible at the time. And then I erased the bottom 50% immediately. And then from the remaining, I determined which features were absolutely required for my application to work in its basic state. And then from those list of features, so got cut off a bit. From those list of features, I prioritized them, and then I decided that those were the features I was going to implement for Boss Palette. So step 4, so I created a schedule. So I determined the deadline for each feature on my list. So feature 1 should be done by 11:30, feature 2, 12 o'clock, something like that. So since we started around 2, I remember I had a list of, I listed all the times that I was supposed to have finished something, like a feature. Okay, next. And then work. So by 3 p.m., I finished from step 1 to step 3, which is the idea, brand, and the schedule. The idea, brand, and minimum viable product. And then work. And then by 6 p.m., I finished my MVP. So since I had a bit more time, since the judging was around 8 p.m., I added step 6, which is improvements. So from the list of features I wanted to implement, I selected features that didn't really make the initial cut, and I implemented them in a separate branch in my repository, and then I launched each feature one at a time when they were ready already. Okay. So an explanation. So step 1, idea. You always choose something that you're very familiar with or you have experienced yourself. Okay. So this way, you know already what the problem is, and you cut out a lot of the research time that needs to be done when you're developing the application. So in this case, I already had a grasp of how the donation centers work. I know the process of processing each donation. It goes through. Once the donation comes in, it gets recorded. It gets stockpiled first, and then it depending on depending on what stuff is needed in a relief center, they get from the stockpile of donations. So I already know the basic flow of how the donation centers work. Okay. So for step 2, brand, you should be something that's quite easy to remember and related to your idea. So the thing is, especially in the Post-DevCup, there was a lot of people joined, a lot of people competing, and like Ken said, a lot of these people were using the same templating system like I did. I also used Twitter Bootstrap. So I decided that I need to make my application stand out by using a very distinguishable logo, which is the hands logo. Okay, so there's step 3. So if your time is limited, always go for an MVP, but always make sure that you keep all of the features that you listed, because it gives you a clear roadmap on where your application is going. So you know how to you know what your plans are for your application. Okay. So which is why which helped me, because when I kept my list of features, when I had time to improve, I started doing my improvements. Okay. So scheduling is one of the most important ones. So scheduling is critical in a situation where time is limited. But it's important that you don't force yourself to follow an unrealistic schedule. You create one that suits your skills and stick to it as best as you can. So in this case, what I did was I know how long it usually takes me to develop something. I know that I'm not really a web designer or a front end developer, so I allotted more time for that than the back end stuff. So one thing I can say about it is that the schedule is there to be your guide. It is not there to be your master. So let's cut off there. Okay, so work. So be smart about working. If you find yourself doing something for more time than it's really worth. So if you're developing like a small feature and it's not really worth around 2 hours of time, especially if you only have 6 hours to develop, then either find a faster way to do it or drop it altogether. Because if it's gonna take that long, it's not worth it. And most especially, you just stay focused, and keep shipping. Next, okay, improvements. Always use a VCS so you can easily create your stable branch and your improvements branch. You can switch between them. So if you don't have a VCS, it's gonna be hard. You need to keep 2 copies of stuff, etc., etc. Okay, so that's it on the Post-DevCup. That's my whole plan that's the plan I followed on the whole event. So now I want to talk about another product that I developed called Tag Huddle. So, okay. So what is Tag Huddle? Okay, so Tag Huddle aggregates updates from different social networking sites based on hashtags. So, okay, let's see that. So, for example, here's a Tag Huddle for the iPhone 5 launch. So, when the iPhone 5 launched, I created this, and then you can see people uploading memes, uploading pictures of their iPhone 5, uploading, jokes and stuff like that. So, it's a pretty cool app because you can see, because, I don't really know any of these people, but it's just fun to see what their updates are, especially about their iPhone 5. And but it's not just iPhone 5. You can see other stuff as well. So why use it? So once you authenticate with Tag Huddle, it automatically retrieves your updates from social networking sites, as long as you have the correct hashtag. So if I tweeted something about the iPhone 5 and I put the iPhone 5 hashtag in it, it will get and it has a photo. It will get extracted. So it also lets you see people's updates about a specific topic. So if I wanted to see updates about the iPhone 5, I can go to that Tag Huddle. And then here's something new that I didn't launch during the Post-DevCup. It also lets you create a private huddle for retrieving updates and only showing them to a specific number of people. So if I wanted to create a huddle that's I only want to send to us, everyone here in this event, in this room, I can do that, and only us will be able to see it. And then, lastly, it also has a way for people to discuss in real time the update. So, like, if you can see here, there are comment boxes everywhere, and then, you can comment on it, and everybody who's inside the same page can see the updates in real time. Okay, so here's a case study of how you can use Tag Huddle. So, let's say you own a photo booth service. So these photo booths, they're basically like they take your photo in events and then they print out the picture for you. They give it to you as a souvenir. So once you have if you have a photo booth, what you can do is you can take the photos of people and then you can post them in your Facebook album or somewhere else in Twitter or Instagram. Just make sure to add the hashtag for the event, and then visit the huddle for that event, and then automatically all your photos that you uploaded will be retrieved if it wasn't already retrieved automatically in the background. And then just give the link out to your attendees, and then they can all see the photos. It's very, very useful. So you don't have to tag all of them on the photos anymore. Just give them out the link. Just go taghuddle.com/event name, and then they already know where it is. They see everybody's photos there. Okay. So another case study is, let's say you're a wedding planner. So a wedding planner creates a private huddle for an event. So taghuddle.com/De La Cruz Santos wedding. Let's say it was that way. So you notify all the guests that, let's say you have like 100 guests, right? So I'm sure they're all going to be taking their own photos. They all have their own digicams, their own phones, and they're all going to be taking their photos. But you're never going to be able to collect all of that, right? So what you can do though is tell them, when you post your updates on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever, make sure to add the hashtag De La Cruz Santos wedding. And then once the wedding is done, just tell them to go to the URL, give them the password to the private huddle, and then tell them to connect their accounts wherever they posted it, and automatically their updates will be retrieved. And when the guests visit, all their updates will be retrieved. So guests who are not friends with other guests, they'll still be able to see their photos, which is something that is very, I think it's very cool, because I don't really know these people from the other side of the room, but I'm seeing the wedding from their point of view. And at the same time, it's something that you can give to the bride and groom. It's because usually when you get these professional photographers in these when you get these professional photographers in these weddings, you usually get the photos after a few weeks or a few months. This way, your bride and groom can see photos of their wedding instantly, just as long as the photos are hashtagged. And then for you, as a wedding planner, it's since you're providing better service, you get more referrals, because it's something. I'm sure it's gonna get viral, that everybody's gonna say, oh, check out these the wedding photos from the De La Cruz Santos wedding. They're all in this site. And then, oh, in your wedding, please make sure you use this application. Okay. So that's it. So if you have questions, you can contact me in these URLs. So, and below is the website for Bukas Palad, the application. It's open source, you can just download it if you want. And taghuddle.com is there. Okay, thank you.
No wonder he won. No, he was very serious. Dude, he had like 6 steps. Just like the 6 TVs outside, man.